from property development and no martial arts experience to the Global Jiu-Jitsu World Championships. After keeping quiet for the last 6 months, Max Key has revealed he's taken on Jiu-Jitsu and even won fights at a World Championship. Max Key and his sensei Douglas Santos are with us this morning. Good morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Morning.
Good, thank you for being with us. Where on earth did this come from, Max?
So I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast driving home from up north around New Year's, and they were talking about the best thing for brain development is to do something that you're really bad at or that you don't know, and effectively just learn a new skill. And so I was thinking, what would I probably be the worst at out of everything? And I figured I wouldn't be very good at jiu-jitsu, so I joined my sensei's gym and fell in love with it.
Douglas, how bad was he?
Let's go how good he became instead to talk how bad he was. I think everybody who walked to the school has a lot of uncertainties, and Max was another one. But pretty quick, he has a massive development. And the proof is that he went to that level and he won matches, you know. It's not easy.
Max, it kind of came out of the blue because you're not spending very much time on social media at all like you used to.
Yeah.
Is that deliberate, and why have you done that?
I just found I obviously kind of grew up in the limelight because of Dad, and I was around that stuff a lot. And I feel like when I was younger, I kind of prioritized social media, and I was very interested in, well, not very interested, but I was kind of like every young kid of our generation where I wanted people to see what I was doing and portray this lifestyle. And I just got to a point where I just felt like it was so fake. And now I'm all about doing things I enjoy, like my property business and, you know, my hobbies like the jiu-jitsu and just things that actually make me happy. And I'm less worried about showing everyone a lifestyle that isn't real.
Which is what you think you were doing as when you were younger?
I think so. It was more just like if I went for dinners, I showed everyone what I was doing, or, you know, I just kept everyone updated. Whereas now, I'm not really too bothered about that.
Do you feel happier now?
Much happier, yeah, because I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not doing things because I think other people think it's cool.
Why do you think, because it's more your generation than my generation, why do you think your generation does that?
I think there's a lot of validation you get from it. You know, I think girls might think you're cooler as a guy, or, you know, there's lots of little things like that. Like there's a social hierarchy to it, I think. You know, if you go out and you've got Instagram followers or you're verified, or, you know, there's all these different things that I think our generation put an emphasis on. And I always have these conversations with mum and dad, and they're always like, oh, I just don't get why people care about that. And I've just got to a point now where I'm like, I don't care about that either. And I guess having experienced it all and met a lot of the people that people idolize, you know, I look up to my sensei a lot more, or a heap more than any of these people that I used to glorify.
Douglas, do you find, are there others like Max who have maybe gone through something in their life, had a certain experience and come to Jiu-Jitsu as a way to grow or develop themselves?
I think it's nowadays, because the popularity of Jiu-Jitsu, people think it's a fight thing, right? I'm going to go to a fight club. When you come to a real school, you're going to realize there's a lot of more doors. Is this aspect that he changed. He's a different guy. He's a guy with a high profile. That you go there and he's training like everybody else. And I think this kind of thing humble you in so many ways. Max is a completely different guy. When he walked, I didn't know who he was. And to be honest, I didn't even care. When we put those uniforms and we go to those mats, everybody gonna feel the same. Everybody gonna feel pain. But Jiu-Jitsu strip all your sadness, your anxiety, your fears. So I think if you find a place decent to train, you're going to realize there is a lot more than fighting. You can really see that as a way to live. I see life through Jiu-Jitsu eyes, and my life has become much easier, right? It's easier to raise a strong child than fixing a broken man. So.
You well, Max, this is something you mentioned when you revealed that you'd been doing jiu-jitsu, was that you'd earned the nickname Princess there. Douglas, can you explain what that is about?
When I found out after a while who he was, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure you're being raised different than I was. And you're not going to have any special treatment here, Princess. And the moment I say that, I think the nickname stuck with him.
Yeah.
And he liked it. He was like, well, I guess I'm a princess now. And even when we went to America, I called the team in overseas that was looking after him, say, hey, don't call him Max, call him Princess.
I walked into the gym one day and our sensei over there had this like cheeky smile on his face, and I was like, oh no, this doesn't look good. And he goes, hello, princess. And I was like, oh no. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
So is this something you're going to pursue, go further with?
Definitely, yeah. It's so good for your mental health, jiu-jitsu. Like, because there's so many good principles you learn. Like, you learn how to breathe, you learn how to handle stress, you learn how to be in uncomfortable situations. And I mean, the whole time, you know, if you've got sensei on top of you strangling you, it's pretty scary at first. But
Tough love.
yeah, but you learn how to, I find in business now, you know, I'll get into a stressful meeting, or, you know, something will go wrong on a property development side, or just things that I used to, you know, when I was younger, I might get kind of anxious or worked up, or I wouldn't have clarity in those moments. You just go, well,
can't be as bad as being strangled by that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, literally, that's what you think. So,
what does your mum think of it? Is she worried about you getting hurt?
When I first turned up, I'm like a very all or nothing person. Like, everything I've done in life, I'm either 110% into it, or I kind of struggle to be interested. So when I turned up, they were kind of like, how long is it going to be before you start competing? And I was like, nah, like, I'm just enjoying it. I'll do it twice a week. And then 4 weeks and Sensei's like, should we go to World Champs and do this 4-month camp? And so I think when I said I'm going to that, they were a bit more worried, because, you know, say you're in a position at World Champs and your arm's in a lock, you're way less likely to tap, because, you know, you might want to win. You could be in the final kind of thing.
Right.
And so whereas at training, if you're in a position that's a bit uncomfortable, you can just tap at any moment.
Yeah.
And you have had lots of injuries.
Yeah, I got a bit unlucky with a few, but I think part of it is I just hadn't, I haven't done this kind of training before. And we were training twice a day, kind of 6 times a week. So
wow.
I was putting the body under a lot of stress.
Max, you seem like a whole new man. Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, definitely feel like I am.
Good on you. Thanks for coming in and talking to us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate you both being here. 8:30, property developer Max Key and Sensei Douglas Santos.